Hello and welcome to the Cube Talk Show. I'm your host, Joe Barbieri, and this is a money show, so we're talking about all aspects of money. Today we have a real estate person with us, and his name is Sunny Batra, the pre-construction condo king for Toronto downtown. And so Sunny, how are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you, Joe?
I'm good.
Excellent.
So as a starting point, well, the title says where your market is and what you do, but if you can just tell me about your background and how you've come to this point.
Well, I have been in real estate for a few years now, about 7 years, and couple years into being into real estate, I made a shift into the downtown Toronto pre-construction market, and I bought few properties myself, and I saw there was the potential, there was the opportunity, and since then most of my clients are investors in downtown Toronto condo market.
So investors, so would you say they're people that buy multiple units, or are they individuals that are buying investment property?
Well, there's many of my clients, they do buy more than one units, and it's pretty easy. You know, you have to guide them in the right direction, and once they see they have made money in one of the unit, they do end up buying more.
Okay, so they have to get familiar with it, and then it expands.
And that's why we are here for.
For the familiarity, yeah.
To help them, to guide them in the right direction.
So, from what you can see now, I mean, there's a lot of press about the Toronto market. What do you see right now for the condo market?
See, 2013 will be a great year for Toronto condominium market. I have some interesting stats here. For example, in 1990, a home price was, it costed half of what it costs today to buy a home. For example, average price for a home in 1990 was $250,000, but the interest rate was at 12%. So carrying cost for a $250,000 home at 12% interest rate came out to be $2,500 per month, approximate, including taxes and other carrying costs. Whereas to rent a unit, a two-bed unit in 1990 was $1,100. Today, just the price might be more. It is average price for a two-bed unit in Toronto, it's about $500,000, but the interest rates are at 3%. That means to carry a $500,000 condo unit, it would be $2,500 a month. Same as what it was in 1990. However, to rent a two-bed unit, it is about $2,500. Whereas it was $1,100 in 1990. So rent has gone up, but affordability is much, much better today.
Would you say that that's why a lot of people are buying condos, because it's much more balanced versus renting now?
It's affordable to, it's easy and it's affordable to buy than to rent. That's number one. Number two is stability in the marketplace. In the last 3 years, the Toronto condo market has stayed stable. For example, by the end of November of 2012, about 82,200 units were sold in Toronto. And in 2011, it was about 84,900. And in 2010, it was 81,900. So you see, the sales have been stable for the past 3 years. Also, the increase in price has been about 2% from November to November 2011. So from 2011 November to 2012 November, it has been, average increase has been about 2%. So it has been stable. the sales and the appreciation.
So that's the last couple of years?
That's the last couple of years.
Okay.
So the stability in the marketplace, and then impact of mortgage rules, they are minor. For example, last summer there have been some mortgage rules. Yes, they are stricter, but if what happened was now the amortization from 30 years has been dropped to 25 years.
Yeah.
So not everyone will qualify. It will take longer for the first-time buyers to qualify for the mortgage. However, it has caused the rental vacancy rate to drop. So more people are choosing to rent, which means if someone vacancy rate are in Toronto are at about 1.7%. They are all-time low. They are at all-time low, which means if a seller is having a difficult time selling a unit, he can easily rent it to a potential rental. And we have heard it in the news many times, and I have seen it many times that there have been bidding wars on the rental unit.
Yeah, I've heard that too, yeah. This is not really, well, it's related, but it's kind of, do you find that there's a lot more people paying higher rent because there's a shortage of rental spaces?
That's
Is
right.
that becoming
There have
an
been
issue
multiple
now?
offers. I've seen units going for $50, $75, $100 more than the asking.
So do you expect that's going to continue?
I think it will continue because, again, mortgage rules are, it's a little difficult. You have to qualify for a lot more things to get the mortgage nowadays. And so many people, there are many first-time buyers, they are choosing to rent, and it also allows them to save more for down payment.
Yeah. The mortgage rules, they've tightened, I think, a couple of times over the last few years. Do you think they're going to tighten them further?
It might happen, but according to this research that I came across, U.S. Federal Reserve is now saying it will not increase interest rates till 2015.
Yeah, I've heard that, yeah.
So, and we are kind of tied up with the U.S. also. Are strong, our dollar is strong, growth has been stable, and these are all the factors to consider. So I'm thinking interest rate will not go up anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the mortgage tightening, like the qualifying rules, as they did in July, do you think there'd be another round of doing that? Where
I think it's pretty strict already.
Yeah,
how much more strict can you make?
I think it is too, yeah. I don't know if, well, I actually haven't heard anything like that the government was saying. I mean, they've said in the news people have too much debt and they should save, and we're trying to encourage, which they tied that with the mortgage tightening standard. And I've heard beyond that there's still a lot of debt. So do you think the government will try and do something else to slow down borrowing?
Understand that they are saying debt to income ratio, Canadians are borrowing more money than their income. For example, average household income is $100,000, but they have debt of $160,000. It's okay because the interest rates are at all-time low at 3%. But if they were at 12%, then there is a trouble. However, government should, if interest rates are at 3%, government should think of lowering the credit card interest rate, which is at 18%.
Yeah.
It has been seen. Few years back, when the interest rate were at 12%, credit card rates were around 20%. Now, the interest rate are at 3%, it doesn't make sense to have credit card at 18%. So that's what government should think of doing.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
And I think there are also, the good news is that last month our economy added 50,000 jobs. and there have been predictions that this year will be, our economy will add a lot more jobs this year.
Okay.
There has been strong prediction. So I think 2013 will be the year of growth, and it will be the year to tap into the opportunities in the marketplace.
Okay. Now, in terms of pre-construction, now, I think a lot of people, when they think of buying a condo, will just go and look at it and buy it, or they might buy it from a development plan, but a pre-construction is a specific way of doing it. That's right?
Well, I tell all my clients that if you can walk into the sales center yourself, that means you have missed the boat. What I mean by that is, when developer launches a project, they launch the project in several stages. Very first stage is called platinum. That's what they are saying nowadays, platinum stage, where they have a few group of top producing agent. It might be 10, 15, 20, around that number.
Okay.
They are the builder's top producing agent. They'll get the special offering to sell the unit to their clients. Next stage is called the VIP agent stage, where the developer might have 100 to 2 or 3, depending on developer, the number might differ. So it might be 100 or 200 or 300 agents in the VIP pool. But at that stage, the prices goes up a little bit.
Okay.
And the next stage is it's opening for all real estate agents.
Okay.
They sell certain number of units at third stage, and the prices goes up. Next stage is for people who have registered on the builder's website. So for a pre-construction website which is about to launch, if you go on the website and if you see coming soon, register now, fourth stage is for those people.
Okay.
Then fifth stage is for public opening. So by the time developer opens the floor or the sales center to the public, prices have gone up quite a bit.
So what percentage is typical, like 20% higher or 10%
Well,
higher?
it depends upon the success of the project. If the project is doing extremely well, it could be $40,000, $50,000. If the
Okay.
project has not done very much, it could be maybe $5,000. So it all depends upon the success of the project. I know, look, some of the projects such as index condos, I saw certain floor plans which were popular, went up by $50,000, $60,000 by the time they opened to the public. Another project that I was involved in, one of the few floor plans were very popular. They went up by about $40,000 to $50,000. I recently worked on a project. It's in Queen West
Yeah.
area, and the builder were offering about $40,000 on the price, $40,000 off on the price to their top producing agents. Now
Okay.
I've been selling the project from December onwards. Now I got the message from the builders, they'll be raising the prices. It will be going back to the regular price this
Yeah.
weekend. So if anyone is interested, you got 3 more days.
Yeah.
But prices were incredible. I mean, $40,000 off on a 2-bed unit. So basically, if a 2-bed unit is $350,000, you can buy for $310,000. I have not heard a 2-bed unit going for $310,000, $315,000 in a downtown area. So that's where investors have to think. They have to buy at the very initial stage of the project to get the best value.
So if you're, so let's say you're like me and you're not in the sector, how would you know about all those, the platinum stage, the VIP stage? Would you have to have a broker to keep you in the loop and then say, this is coming up, here, they're just starting it, do you want in? And then a few months later, okay, we're here now, do you want it? Is that how it works? Or
Well, first of all, I advise all my clients, do your due diligence, make sure this is what you want, do some research, read about the builder, read about the area, and then also working with someone that you can trust, a broker, an agent that you can trust is very, very important. You need to like many people, we have a family doctor, we have family lawyer, we have accountant that we have been working with for several years. So let's say family accountant. Similarly, you need to have a family realtor as well, who can guide you and help you in the right direction. And the broker, whoever you are working with, and if there's a trust should be there, and it's the job of the broker to tell you what projects are coming. For example, I have many clients that I work with. I usually send them the email that this is a project coming up, that's a price, that's a market value, resale, and in pre-construction, this is what the current market value is, and we are getting at this price. For example, the last project I did in December, the resale price in the area was at about $570 per square foot.
Okay.
And we, after all the discounts, we got the price of about $450, $460 per square foot. So it's about $100 per square foot less than the resale.
Yeah. Okay, so you need to have the relationship with the broker, and you have to be on their, I guess, interested list.
Mailing list, or you have to let them know that we are interested. Please send us more information if any project comes up. We are looking to buy at the VIP or platinum stage.
Okay.
So specify that, and if you're working with someone who is experienced and knowledgeable about the condominium market, and who is a top producing agent and have the access to the projects at the initial stage, I think you'll be in a safe hands.
So you'd have to ask, the broker has to be a top producing agent, otherwise they wouldn't really have access to these projects. Is that always true? Or?
Well, you know what, every builder is different. So for example, before they used to do VIP launches, but now builders are saying, hey, you know what, there will be a platinum launch which is launched before the VIP, and we will do it only for our top producing agents who have been with us and who have sold certain amount of units. So these platinum agents are agents who have sold maybe a floor for the builder, floor or two for the builder. VIP agents are who have sold 3, 4, 5 units for the builder. So I say that work with someone who is a good realtor, who knows the market, and who can get you what you want. And of course, there should be a trust.
Yeah, always. Okay, well, I guess you've partially said, you've answered the question, how do you get into the pre-construction? Is there any other way to do it other than having the broker that has that access?
Well, if you want to have the access at the very initial stage of the project, that's where the prices are at its lowest level, then you have to work with the broker, because the initial access is for the brokers only, such as platinum access, then it's for platinum agents. VIP access for VIP agents, all real estate agent opening, then registrant opening, which is for people who have registered on the builder website, then general public opening, which means, again, if you can walk into the sales center, you're at the very last stage where the prices have gone up in most cases.
Now, do you deal with the scenario after that? So the sales office opens, they have a floor plan, somebody comes and says, all right, I'm going to buy that, it's going to be built in 3 years, done, here's my deposit, and then 2 years later that person sells it, or they wait till it's built, and instead of moving in, we'll sell it, and prices have gone up at that stage? Or is that a similar type of thing, or is that completely? Okay,
so let me, there are 2 questions here. Number one is, let me answer it in 2 separate ways.
Okay.
Yes, I worked with people who have bought at the public opening stages, and at that time I My job is to educate them. I tell them this is what the original prices were, this is the prices now, it has gone up by so and so amount, but what we can do is we can try to negotiate. We know the builder, we have relationships with most of the builders and their sales team, so by knowing what was in the beginning, what was these people at the public opening or who are coming in after all these stages, they don't know what the original prices, most of the people don't know what the original prices were.
Okay.
So, but we know what the original prices were, what the incentives being offered and discounts. So we try to get them, if not the same, something good.
Okay.
So that's number one. Yes, I've dealt with many scenarios like that. And we are able to get good offerings from the builder because of our relationship with them.
Okay.
So they give it to us, but they might not give the same offering to you.
Yeah.
Because again,
they
they want
know
to build, keep their relationship with us. Just to give you the example, even last year in October, you know, after the public opening, after the project was, you know, 70% sold or so, I did a bulk deal with the builder, where we went to them and we told them, hey, you know what, we'll sell certain percentage of units. However, we need so and so discounts, and they were extremely good. Buy with 5%, you know, $30,000 to $40,000 discount on the regular price, and there were other incentives as well, which a person who is walking into the sales center would not know about, and they are not offered to any other agents. They are exclusive to person who is doing the bulk deal. So again, it's important to have a good relationship with the agent that you are working with. Now, your second question was if someone could sell the unit before it's built or after. Yes, many people do that. It's called assignment. And the person buying the unit has to make sure that there is the assignment clause there, which allows someone to sell the unit prior to the completion. When we are working with someone, we know that's a must, and we ask from the builder, we need this, and make sure assignment is here, make sure the other caps on the closing costs are there. Most of the builders, they charge $5,000 for assignment, but we have been able to get it for $0 as an incentive. So if someone who wants to assign a unit prior to the completion, there will be no cost to them. And yes, people have been able to make quite a bit of profit. However, assignments are not easy to sell because you cannot put it on the MLS. Builder does not allow the unit to be on the MLS.
Okay.
So that's why it's a little bit difficult to sell. However, it does require a lot of marketing, a lot of time, and it does happen. Assignment sale, I just did the assignment in December, but it takes a lot of time. You have to do your own marketing. And I did mention about the caps on the closing costs is very, very important because what are caps? Caps are basically you're telling the builder, you know, the amount should not exceed a certain number. Builder, they usually leave it open. Education levies, then there are building levies and a few other charges. Builder, they usually leave it open. It could be whatever amount. So we tell the builder, okay, cap it to make sure it does not exceed a certain number, such as $3,000, $4,000, or $5,000.
Okay.
And if not capped, I have heard a lot of horror stories where there were education levy and building levy. It came out to be about $15,000, $18,000, $20,000 on the closing.
Yeah.
And these people were the people who walked into the sales center themselves. They didn't know. They didn't got the agreement reviewed by the lawyer, and they thought they got a good deal, but at the closing they were like, what's going on? $20,000 for closing? What is education levy? What is this? You know, but we know all these costs. We know what are the things to take care of in the agreement, and getting the caps for the closing cost is very, very important.
So I think you've already answered it, but if you're going to do this, you need to have the realtor who knows the lawyer will not know this necessarily. That's the case, right?
Lawyers usually do pick up on things. That's the job of the lawyer, to advise the clients to whether there are caps in the closing costs or what things to take care of in the agreement. But again, if you're going with the knowledgeable realtor, knowledgeable and experienced realtor, they would tell you up front, hey, you know what, you need you need to have the caps in the closing cost. You need to have assignment if you're thinking of selling before. We get the assignment anyways, and we negotiate the contract. So by the time you take it to the lawyer, most of the things are already taken care of.
Okay, that's good to know. We'll take a few minute break right now, but we'll be back with Sunny Batra in a few minutes. Back on the Cube Talk Show with Sunny Batra. We're talking about pre-construction condominiums in Toronto. So if somebody were to come to you and say, I want to invest in this, what should they look for? What should they be asking?
Well, first of all, if they are asking this question, they need to know who the developer is, reputation of the developer. That's very, very important. We mostly tend to work with the good top award-winning developers. So developer reputation is the key. Second thing is what the value of the property would be. Let's say if you don't know, if let's say the project will be launching in a month or so, then of course we do know the idea of what the project launch price would be approximate. If not, you need to compare the project price. If you have the price list, if the project is launched, then you have to compare the project price with other pre-construction, comparable pre-constructions in the area, and also the resale in the area, because in the past, pre-construction prices were more than the resale. Now, what has happened is pre-construction prices are at par with the real estate. At par with the resale. Some of them are offering, some of the builders are offering great discounts to move their inventory. So I've seen at few projects where the prices of pre-construction were little below the resale prices. So it's very, very important to know what the prices of the pre-construction and the resale in the neighborhood are. So reputation of the developer, prices of the comparable projects in the area, and of course the neighborhood, how the neighborhood is, and if there is any future growth or anything new coming in the area, that also affects the appreciation of the project. Also the transportation, very, very important. Is there subway line, TTC access? So these are all the factors one should consider before investing, and ask your real estate agent, whoever you are working with.
Is there anything specific to the project that someone should know? I mean, the builder reputation would cover some of that, or things like, say it's a green project, or it's got 3 or 4 buildings sharing facilities or something like that.
See, all the projects are great, and what makes a project great is, once again, I've mentioned that reputation of the developer, appreciation, the value of the comparable project, but also how the building is going to be, what the amenities would be. Nowadays, we are seeing one of the projects I worked at, there were 3D gaming room, pet spa. I was like, wow, 3D gaming room. That's so for some it would be a buying factor.
That's right.
They had 2-story of amenities on 37th and 38th floor with a beautiful view of the Toronto skyline. So your amenities also play important role. And in one of the building, they had car wash bays, 2 car wash bays.
Oh yeah?
That's a good amenity to have.
It is, yeah. I know I would use that. So, okay, so that's something they would know up front. I mean, it would all have to be in the plan if they're going to have...
Yes, of course. So that's builder provide us with all the information, because this is a great selling tool to have amenities.
Okay. So if you're going to invest in it, what return would you expect, or how would you go about getting an idea?
It's a difficult question to answer, because it's hard to predict what type of appreciation one could expect. However, if we look at the past, what we do know is from the stats that downtown core from Q4 of 2006 to Q4 of 2011, downtown core has appreciated by $251 per square foot. So in Q4 of 2006, the average price per square foot was about $390. In Q4 of 2011, average price per square foot in downtown core was $641 per square foot. That's the average annual increase of 12.9%. But the increase, which is 12.9%, it's on the whole value of the property. But if you calculate the return on your investment, many people, they put down 15% or 20%. But if you calculate return on investment on 15%, comes out to be 429% for 5 years, or 85% approximate for a year, which is quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know where can you get 85% per year return on your investment.
Yeah, so I guess there's other sort of factors too, like the size of your unit, or which building you happen to be in, if it has more amenities than the one beside it, or maybe it has better access than this one beside it. All of that would creep in somewhere into the return.
Of course, there are so many other factors. These were just the average return, average appreciation rate. But again, the floor plan has to be good, a decent view, location as well. Is it easy to transportation? What are the other conveniences in the area? Restaurants, grocery stores. So these are there are so many other factors. I say, imagine yourself living in it. If you can live in the unit, if you can fall in love with it, then of course the renters and other people, your rent tenants or people who are buying the unit from you, they are thing is that if you're buying something that you fall in love with, you will pay extra. But if you don't like something, doesn't matter even if you reduce the price, they'll be like, no, I don't like it. Even if I get it for free, I'm not gonna buy it. So you have to make sure the unit is something that you can fall in love with. Because if you can fall in love with it, the people who are buying might fall in love with it as well.
Okay. Well, we can talk about the media for a second, because there's been a lot of press about, is the condo market overvalued? There's going to be a correction. There's too many condos. We need more condos. I've heard kind of both sides, but there's a lot of charge around it, let's say, in the media. What effect have you noticed from that, and how should people look at when they read those newspapers saying whatever? How should you filter it so you get the proper message from it?
Well, one thing we do know that negative news in the media sells. I have seen many reports in the media that last year, for example, sales were down, sales were down. Yes, there was, there were a few months when the sales were down, but media were not saying prices were down. Prices were not down, prices were up. Prices were kept going up, but yes, the sales were down last year in few months. So one has to see when you're reading it, what media is saying it. Is it the sales? Is it the prices? What are the stats? But one thing I do know is there are good opportunities in the market, and it's all because of negative media. We have gone through from seller's market for the last few years to the buyer's market now. So if someone is looking to buy or invest, now is a great time, because the negative news in the media has made buyers more cautious and aware. So if builder needs, there are many builders in Toronto, not many, there are a few builders in Toronto, they are offering great incentives because they need to move their inventory. And it's all because buyers are very much cautious now than before. And last few months I saw there were many buyers, they were holding off from buying to see what will happen next. And again, it's, if someone needs to move their inventory, they will offer great incentives. That's when you need to tap into them. If you ask me, when was the last time to invest in real estate market, I would say 2008 and 2009 during the recession time. But now is the second best time to take advantage of some of the opportunities and some of the great discounts some builders are offering to move their inventory.
So speaking of that, if you wanted to buy a specific area or project in Toronto, what are you aware of now that's out there and up and coming?
We are hoping the launch of 365 church condos. It's coming up. I've spoken to the sales manager. I've been in touch with them. We had a meeting as well. They are hoping to launch it end of January or beginning of February, and we are hoping the price per square foot will be around $575 to $600 per square foot. Because pricing is the key. I told them it's a great project, great location, walking distance to Ryerson University, Eden Center.
Okay.
Location is great. It will be great for the tenants, very easy to rent out. However, we have to see what the price per square foot is going to be. If builder come out with something $640, $650 per square foot, that is too high. I don't think I would be interested in proposing that project to my investors. However, if they do come up, we are hoping they will come up with around $575 per square foot. Okay. If that's the case, I think that would be very competitive price, and I will definitely propose that to my investors. So that's one of the project, and I'm keeping an eye on 25 Richmond condos. The address says 25 Richmond. Again, great location. Richmond and Yonge being the intersection steps to financial district, and I've spoken to the sales team. I've been in touch with them as well, and they said that the price per square foot would be around $650 per square foot. Now, if you look at the comparable projects in the area, there are two of them. They are selling for over $700 per square foot.
Yeah.
So again, pricing it $50, $60 below other projects or other comparable projects in the area. Again, I think that's very attractive. So that's something. In the past, I'll give you the example. Last few months, we have seen a few projects where what they did was they priced it lower than the comparable, and they were sold out. Tridal 10 York launched in October. They are a good example. They have sold more than 80% of their inventory, and they priced about 10 to 12% lower than their comparable project. We have seen One Park Place condos by Daniel, very affordable. In 2 weekends, they were 90% sold. I worked on Carnaby Row, project by Streetcar Development. Again, competitive prices. They priced lower than the comparable in the area, and they are saying they are over 50% sold. In this December month, which is apparently the slowest month ever.
Of the year.
People are busy in their Christmas shopping, New Year, and in that month they sold over 50%. That's very impressive. So pricing is always the key. And these two developers, again, 365 Church Condos by Menkes, I think the pricing are going to be competitive if they have to sell their inventory. And 25 Richmond, which is coming up, I think I'm hoping that they will launch end of February or March.
Okay.
It's by Great Gulf Home. Pricing will be competitive and it will be below the comparable projects in the area. So these two are the projects that one should look at, and of course the platinum agents and the VIP agents will have the first access. Working with the platinum agent is the key to get the access at the very initial stage of the project and take advantage of the biggest discounts.
So we have a few minutes left. If people want to find you and contact you and or want to invest, how would they get in touch with you?
I'm very easy to find. They can easily Google my name. If they don't have my business card, they can Google my name, Sunny Batra. They'll get all the information. They can on my website. They can connect with me on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook as well. I'm very active there. There are many ways. Either they can send me an email, they can call me. My email is sunny@sunnybatra.com. Very simple. It might take a couple of emails to remember my email address. Or they can text me. My phone number is 647-898-1665. They can text me or give me a call.
Okay. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me here.
It's very good. And that's our show for today, the Cube Talk Show. And if you want to contact me, my email is joetheinvestor.today@gmail.com. And this show will be broadcast on YouTube and on my website, www.joetheinvestor.ca. And have a good evening. Thanks for watching.